That's pretty. Oh my god. It's literally trying to adjust my blinds. And they broke. You know, this is probably like the hardest way for me to do this, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, we have decor. Ooh, y'all just got a very random anonymous text. Oh, do I want a window replaced? I don't. I think I need like another coffee because
I used to have this morning routine where I would wake up every single day at like 6 a.m. and I was rocking it. Granted, like my eye bags at that time were atrocious. But I've recently been waking up around like I set the alarm for 6:30 and then I stay in bed until 7 and I'm so disappointed in myself. But that's what's been happening because I've been socializing a lot.
And because of that, I've been staying up very late. So, you know, it's actually my friend's fault.
Hi sisters! Welcome back everyone. Today we have another video that I am actually very, very excited about. If you know me in real life, then I talk about this topic all the time. If we talk about personal development. If we don't, then you're not my real friend, so so sorry. Welcome back though, guys. Today we are going to be talking about shadow work. Now, a lot of people that have never heard of shadow work before are going to be listening to the first quarter of this video thinking that this is some type of witchcraft or like some demonic practice. This is not. This is basically, in my opinion, a version of personal therapy that does not involve having a real therapist. Now, is this a replacement for real therapy? No, go get yourself a damn therapist because you are broken. But no, in my personal opinion, shadow work is basically just a way of healing and figuring out your deeper triggers, patterns, projections, whatever, and healing them from the inside out so that you can be happier, so that you can live as your highest self, and so that you can be more fulfilled in this time that we call living a human experience on the planet Earth. So let's just start right away, okay? What is your shadow self? Because we're not going to step into shadow work until we talk about the shadow self, okay? The mind is split up into 3 separate parts. You have the ego, you have your personal consciousness, I believe, and then you have the collective consciousness. The ego is what we all know is basically pride. It's you being hurt and being a baby and acting out about it. It is you being like, how dare they do this to me? And I'm the victim and oh my God. And then you have your personal consciousness, which is your day-to-day thoughts, your blah, blah, blah. And then you have the collective consciousness, which is your human genetics and patterns and your fight or flight response. Basically things that we just have because we are human. It's like a dog that likes to pee in a bush. He does it because it makes him feel better because he's a dog. I don't know, honestly. We got off a little topic. In that zone of your mind, you have the shadow self. Now, the shadow self is basically the parts of yourself that you don't like. It is the parts of yourself that you tend to repress. It is the parts of yourself that are deemed unlikable and therefore are the shadow. Y'all have ever seen like Star Wars, the Clone Wars? There's that one scene with like Yoda and then he's fighting this like shadowy version of Yoda. Think of that when you think of shadow work. And I'll put like a little photo up so that y'all that are not nerds at like 12 years old like I was can understand the reference that I'm talking about. Basically, it is the part of yourself that is unlikable. And that's all that we're going to say for that. In order to understand others, in order to be charismatic, in order to feel like you are connecting to others, you have to understand yourself. You have to, because in psychology, if you are one of those people that like watches all those online psychology videos, which I absolutely recommend because I do too, but then you do not apply any of those practices to you, your real life, your real friends, your real partner, your real family, whatever, you are going to have this fat disconnect and you're going to sit there and be like, so I read this online that basically if you are on your phone, it means that you don't like me. So do you just hate me right now? Okay. That is basically how you're going to feel the rest of your life internally, and it's not fun because we've all been there and we don't want to be there anymore. Shadow work in general is basically a practice that you can use to figure out your deep-rooted triggers, patterns, projections, anything that you might deem as unlikable in yourself that maybe you want to change, or maybe you just want to be aware of, or maybe you want to accept, and maybe you want to just figure out why, like the depths of it all. What is shadow work? Basically, shadow work is a very personal practice, I would say. It's different for everyone. However, there are certain ways to doing it that reap better results. So I'm going to be teaching y'all the best way that I have found and that Google has found to reap the most rewards in this practice that we call shadow work. So to just talk about the practice real quick without getting like too in depth about it, basically whip out a journal, has to be a journal. If you are one of those people that writes it on your phone, I will come and slap the crap out of you. Pick out a journal, make it cute and aesthetic, get a fancy little pen, get a cute little pencil, and you are basically going to title the page shadow work. And then you're gonna date it and you're gonna do whatever makes you feel so personable and so cute in your little journal. And then you are basically going to find a prompt. Now, I, in the past, have been known to do this in one of three ways. Number one is you go on Google and you search up, oh my God, I feel depressed. Give me a shadow work prompt for depression. Okay, and then you kind of have all these trickling down prompts and you're like, which one kind of fits why I'm depressed? And that is the last one that I would recommend out of these three. So that's why it went first. Number two is kind of the one that I used to do a lot more that I think works and it's pretty nice and it's very personal to you. You basically know why or what your trigger is. I remember when I was in this like friend group and we were on this massive vacation and I just remember like I felt so casted out and so alone and I was just like depressed in the corner. I was like, oh my God, no one likes me. And so I basically did shadow work based on that. And then the third one is my favorite, and we are going to be using artificial intelligence. But basically how this works is you are going to type into ChatGPT, I am feeling this way. Can you please ask me some questions to give me a shadow work prompt or multiple so that I can work on this, so that I can heal, so that I can be aware, so that I can level up into my highest version of my highest self. And then in your little journal, you'll write prompt, and then you'll basically write out the sentence that it is asking you to work on. And then you get into this meditative state. You don't have to do this. I like doing it, but you don't have to. I like to take like a couple deep breaths, very grounding, present myself in that moment. And then basically you're going to just journal about that prompt. And you're going to be immersed in that journal. You're not going to be checking your phone and be like, so what did Cindy post? Oh my God, Cindy. Anyways, back to why I'm depressed. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to be present in the moment. Turn your damn phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, Gen Z talking to you. And you're basically going to work on it. Shadow work is, of course, a skill. You're not going to be amazing at it, and you're not going to feel like it is life-changing in the first couple times that you do it. And that's why we're doing it, is so that you can uncover those deep-rooted conscious parts and you can get better at it. Yay! For me personally, I've noticed a lot of things that happen when I do shadow work. First off, I cry almost every time I do shadow work, which is extremely uncanny for me because I maybe cry like once every other month. And so it's like for me to just whip out a journal and write something down and be like, not normal. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say that. It's not, to me, that just shows that it's very powerful. You know what I mean? That's what we're gonna say about that. In order to gain more confidence, in order to understand others better, you have to find the parts of yourself that are so deep, that are so rooted, that basically no one can even use them against you. How many of y'all get triggered when someone like calls you out on your BS and you're like, oh my God, you're like, how dare you see that about myself? Because I thought I was the only one and now like y'all see it too and it just really triggers me. In order to not be triggered, in order to not take everything as offensive, you have to figure out why you feel that way. You're not just this victim, you're not just this crybaby, and you're not broken because you actually have a reason why you are the way you are. So that's why we do shadow work, is to figure that out. Okay, I'm just gonna read this because I wrote it in my notes and I really, really liked how it sounded, and then I'll go into what it actually means. So in the entire world of shadow work, like the person who made it and everything, they basically said, the shadow is prone to psychological projection in which a perceived personal inferiority is recognized as a personal moral deficiency in someone else. Now, what does that mean? Basically, what you find annoying about yourself, you will project onto others and find annoying in them. Have you ever just been living your like best life and then you're just kind of like staring across the room at someone and you're just like pissed off at them? You're like, I really don't like you. I really don't like you. And then it's kind of like, you kind of sit there and you're like, okay, but like, why don't I like that? And then you like come up with the most bizarre answer ever. You're like, well, their skin is a more fair tone. And, you know, that pisses me off because that means that they're clearly not getting enough sunlight and that, you know, they just don't like supporting the environment. Yeah. So basically, they're doing something that reminds you of yourself. And that is why you hate them. If you notice that you hate random people for random reasons and you do not actually have a reason why, it is because you are seeing something within yourself that basically triggers you and pisses you off and makes you not like that other person. So we don't want to live life like that. So let's start figuring out why. So let's do our shadow work. Hey. If you want to get the most out of shadow work, I would say do it whenever you are feeling the most triggered in your life. For me personally, I will have these periods where I'll be doing great and then all of a sudden something will happen and I will just be like so pissed off, so snappy, so triggered, and basically I'll kind of have to sit there and realize, okay, this isn't like normal, and I don't like feeling this way. So why is it that what Julie said across the room is literally like making me want to like pull her hair out? Okay. And then I'll basically think about it a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, maybe it's because of that. And then you sit down and you journal about it for like 10-15 minutes, and then you're like, oh my God, you're like, so this actually relates back to when I was 4, and when my friend in my friend group basically said that I was not going to be it first, and that I had to wait until I got tagged to be it. And I didn't want to look like this attention-seeking person that would run in front of everyone to get tagged because I want to be it and I got rejected. So thanks, Julie, for bringing up my elementary school tagging experience. So congratulations, guys. You have just leveled up in life and you have moved one step into your highest self. And, you know, a little homework task, actually do shadow work. Don't just listen to this video and be like, okay, cool, now that I know that, the more you know. Actually think about something in your life that has been triggering you in the past week, that has made you sad, made you mad, made you jealous, made you anxious, made you want to go and do something that you knew was not how you wanted to feel about it, and sit there and write it down in the journal and say, why am I feeling this way? And literally just explore, trickle those thoughts down. Feel it, okay? But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching another video by me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this more manic episode. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video valuable. If not, I hope it was at least entertaining. And yeah, guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Have a great day.